Namaste and welcome, Nic here. And today I'm going to be talking about the topic of vision boards. So it is coming up for my birthday at the end of this month, July 31st, and I have decided that it would be time to do another vision board. I haven't done a vision board since 2012, but for some reason I felt that this year was going to be time to do a new one for myself. And it's something that I'm going to be inviting others to share with me. So I am going to be doing a workshop around vision boarding. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video. But what I wanted to address today is where vision boarding goes wrong. Some of the mistakes that people make, and they're not really mistakes, it's just perhaps they haven't understood the dynamics of energy, of energetics, and how things come into being and how they are released out into the world. I know the topic of manifestation and vision boarding is kind of very trendy at the moment, this kind of new agey idea that if we just put it out there to the universe, then in some way it's like a shopping cart that the universe is just going to give us that thing if we just keep wishing it again and again. And this is a problem with the kind of new age thinking, the surface level manifestation of really pop culture. So you may have experienced this where, you're all psyched up. Maybe you've gone to a vision boarding class, or you've done something online, or maybe it's a how to manifest course. And I'm not, everything is different. I haven't taken them all, but I do know that I'll have a lot of people who, when I ask them what they're doing with their vision board or their manifestation, it will require that they have either cut out some pictures or some words or some images. They've put it on a board, they've kind of wished for the best, maybe they've put it in some altar space and done ceremony around it, and things have not necessarily manifested for them, leading to a place of disappointment, of mistrust, and so on. Now, I want to say in my vision board back in 2012, actually probably around 60%, and certainly a couple of really key items did actually manifest, and they were quite random, and that's how, it wasn't just like I was asking for something that would have come to me anyway. So there was a process behind it, and it actually worked about 80% of the items, and certainly a couple of big ticket ones. At that time, 10 years ago, I didn't really have a process around it, or I hadn't reverse engineered it. But laterally, with all my energy work and polarity training, I can now understand where things go a little off when it comes to people doing their vision boards. And the first thing I want to say is, I think the reason why vision boarding and manifestation is of such huge appeal to people is because it unites this idea of free will, that we have a choice, that we can say what we want, with the kind of spiritual aspect of us that, we say what we want, and there's some spirit place, woo-woo, whatever you want to call it, big picture, the universe, capital T, comes in and takes this little wish list and makes it happen. So I think it's definitely, I like the fact that people are open to this idea of co-creating with something beyond their mind. I think that is really awesome. But it can also lead to this little bit of an egoic practice, meaning that, I am putting down what I want, and when I don't get it, there can be this kind of tantrum about, I didn't get what I want, the universe is against me, it doesn't work, it's all boo-hoo, woo-woo, and so on. And I think that when a vision board is done well and understood the energy of nature, then it can be a really awesome practice to sit for a moment and really think about where your desire for the thing that you have on your vision board is coming from, and getting really conscious around what felt sense, what feeling it is that you're lacking, that you want to find embodied by whatever it is, a new house, a new home, a new relationship. So I just want to say that, and I'm going to go through some of the things that people forget or miss out. So the first thing is that when we are doing this vision board, which is by its nature free will plus the universe, and I'm going to use the universe as, well, in yoga we would say Brahman or source or God or whatever it is, but I often hear the word the universe like it's some kind of thing out there. But anyway, the first thing to think about is that you are limited to the magazines that you have, the things that you bring in for your vision board. And so when we're talking about connecting into universe or source, there is no limitations, right? So you're, first of all, already limiting your vision to what you know to be true and exist, and maybe even the magazines that you have in front of you. That's the first thing. The second is that when we're working with the energetics of photos, because these photos that you're putting on your vision board, it's not that you're looking for that specific, let's say, kitchen. It's not you're looking for that specific kitchen, but you're looking for the energy of that kitchen. And that picture that you get from the magazine is representative of it, except for the fact that it's not. And this is a key snitch and snafu. What you're putting in, if you've got a picture from, let's say, a magazine, is you're actually putting the energy of a photo shoot in there. And the photo shoot is artificial. It's a created moment in time of artificiality. So when you then kind of load it with your energy on the vision board, what you're actually reinforcing is you're reinforcing something that does not exist. That little Photoshop picture of the lady making a fresh salad in a beautiful white kitchen, that actually, that energetic package doesn't exist. So you're reinforcing the energy of artificiality and something that existed in a very small period of time. And then the big piece that I see is that people aren't following the law of nature. So in order for something to come into being, all 5 elements need to be in place, and they have a specific order. So you need to have ether, you need to have air, you need to have fire, you need to have water, and you need to have earth. And that doesn't mean to say that you have to have pictures of these, but you need to understand how those energetic components are going into your vision board. That is how things come into be in the world, in a baby. And then we also want to take that energy and we need to move it out into the world. So we need to bring that energy, those 5 elements, into the vision board. And then we need to see how that can evolve out, how we can release that energy out, because that's how things actually get manifested. From earth, through water, through fire, through air, and out into the universe. So that's the part that I am going to be teaching in my vision board workshop. It's going to be on July 30th, and it's online at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and do the math for the Europeans. I'm inviting everyone to join me, and in that workshop, I will be explaining how to get those 5 elements from an involutionary place into the vision board, and then how to kind of work them all the way back out. And I'll be not only doing that, but also releasing any expectations around the vision boarding, because that's the other thing, that the spaciousness becomes so tight that people get really desperate, and that desperation feeds into the energy of the vision board. And when we have that contraction, the next thing would be collapse, and therefore the vision board doesn't actually get to activate. So I hope that you have found this helpful. If you are doing your vision board, remember that you will need to create an etheric container, you will need to have thought, you will need to have desire, you will need to have emotion, and you will need to have a picture, earthy. And that picture needs to be translated into energy rather than just have the vision. And the same will happen on the way out. If you have got any questions around this, please feel free to pop them into the comments. It's a topic that I feel is of interest to many, many people out there. I love to understand the energetics behind things and how they work, and do the work of kind of engineering underneath so that you can get better results. I'll also put the link in so that you can sign up for this vision board extravaganza, and I just ask that maybe a few days before your vision board experience with me, which I'll be teaching live online, you start to maybe go to Pinterest or to your magazines and start to cultivate some pictures, and then have your stuff ready. You can bring colored pens, pencils, glitter sticks, glue sticks, paint, calligraphy pens, anything you need, and we'll work together and create a really nice community to vision board together. And that will be my birthday gift to you. So hopefully you can make it on July 30th, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Wishing you all happy vision boarding until then. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat, Namaste.